Hey guys, Neomis here. Today's Thursday, and tomorrow we are going up against Aston Villa. So I thought I'd put out a bit of a preview for tomorrow's game. I think tomorrow's game is quite important, and I'm just telling you this right now. If you think I'm going to be different from Arsenal YouTubers out there, at least I can tell you right now, I do think we're going to get a loss. So this video is why I think we're going to get a loss because I think Aston Villa right now they've got a very good solid team. They've got players there that I've probably taken the Arsenal sides. Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins, was it even someone like a Matty Cash? I think has been really good for them. Douglas Luiz, I'd love to have him in our midfield. Very good player. Obviously, their goalkeeper, I'd also love to have. Well, we used to have him, which brings a little tear to my eye. And in a way, you could almost say this is the Emiliano Martinez derby overall. Coming back to the Arsenal, and I have to say that I'm gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. But even though I do think Arsenal are going to lose, I will say this is that I do think that we could cause them problems. Maybe we might be able to get a draw dependent on how the game goes, dependent on the formation that's played, and dependent on whether Arteta gets his tactics right. And that is key. I was thinking about it earlier on today, and you know what? This season is going to come down to fine margins, and this game is proof of that. Proof of that. The last game against Palace was proof of that, coming down to fine margins. And the reason why we pulled out a draw is because Patrick Vieira wasn't experienced enough to make the right decision. That substitution he made near the end of the game, the last 10 minutes of the game, taking off Odson Edward to bring on a defender, that already sent the message that Palace were going to sit back and defend and try to hold what they have, meaning that it was just inviting pressure for Arsenal, and they conceded in the last seconds of the game. Arteta, you have to get your tactics right here. You have to, and it all starts with this. So when I looked at Aston Villa's previous game, so they faced Wolves, they lost against Wolves 3-2. And when you look at the formation that Wolves played again with a three at the back. They played a 3-4-2-1. Villa played with a 3-4-1-2. And I think that we should play with a 3-5-2 because I think that when it comes to Arsenal, I think Arsenal need to outnumber them in the midfield. Um, and I do think that when it comes to Arsenal, we're not matching up teams pretty well. And I think that looking at the players that they have, I think that if we get this right, if we match up with them nicely and get the right formation going, we might be able to pull out a draw. So we know that they're going to start. I think that they're going to go with the same starting 11 that they did against Wolves, which was Martinez in goal, Konsa, Twanzebe, and Mings as the three centre backs. Matty Cash out wide right with McGinn and Douglas Luiz in that midfield, and Matt Target playing as the left wing back. He's somebody I think that can be got after. Very similar to actually Kieran Tierney, but he's not that quick, to be honest. But I still think that we can kind of get at him. This midfield is going to be a problem. Then up front, they've got Buendia in the 10 with Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins. And how I think Arsenal need to go in this game is we need to match them. Our two players that we need to have up front are Aubameyang and Lacazette. None of this playing Aubameyang out wide left, which I think that's what Arteta will play with a 4-2-3-1, with Aubameyang playing almost as coming in the inside. If he goes with that, we are finished because that's the same crap that we had last year. We know how it's going to work. Even if Aubameyang tracks back a lot of the game, he's not going to do that for 90 minutes. We cannot be using one of our best goal scorers to be tracking back. He needs to be in the box. Has to be in the box. So for me personally, him and Aubameyang and Lacazette need to be up top. Going up against Konsa, Twanzebe, and Mings. If you play these two strikers up front, I guarantee you, Aston Villa will they won't know what to do. Somebody is going to have to get back to deal with them. Now there's a situation with Emiliano Martinez. Sorry, Martinez. Emiliano Buendia being in the number 10, threading balls through. I think he's still kind of coming up to speed, and we haven't quite seen the best of him at Aston Villa. But I think we need to do something to kind of deal with him. This is why I'm proposing that midfield five behind Aubameyang to consist of Maitland-Niles to be wide right with God Thomas Partey. I'm gonna go with El Nene in that midfield, and then I'm gonna also go with Sambi as well in that midfield with Tavares playing wide left as our left wing back. And I think in that system, to help be able to deal with Buendia, that's where Thomas Partey and El Nene or El Nene could be able to deal with that. And if we need to go on up attack, I know that my guy in Sambi can be able to push forward into the eight. And he said he can also play in the eight as well on the Arsenal website. So that's something that he can be able to do. He can go and do that, and that's something that he can be able to help create chances in the center of midfield for the two strikers. But the bulk of our creativity with this kind of 3-5-2 is coming out wide, and that is going to be with Maitland Niles, and that is going to be with Tavares overall. That's how I think it should go. The three centre backs. This has to be Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, and it has to be Ben White. And with this formation, even though it might look like a 3-5-2, we have the ability to also go into a 5-3-2 if need be, because then you just have Maitland Niles come back and Tavares come back into defense. You could transform into a 4 at the back because you have Maitland Niles there as well. So you can always have Kieran Tierney shifts to left back, Maitland Niles comes in at right back. Um, then you have Ben White and Gabriel as the two centre backs. Tavares would then go into midfield, or even he might just push forward in almost like a bit like a free roll. But really and truly, you just put him in midfield um, to kind of deal with things as need be, and then maybe even pushing Sambi further forward as well to help the two strikers. So that's what I think that could be done. And if we need to make substitutions, we can. You know, we still got Smith Rowe we could call upon. We got Odegaard, who I think needs to be dropped. I'm telling you this right now. The guy needs to be dropped. You cannot just disappear in games for the past two games and not be punished. But I know that's not going to happen. I know some way, somehow he's going to play, and Arteta will probably come with a 4-2-3-1 formation, the same way how he did before. But I just don't think that's going to work. This time, I think we're going to be just playing right into Aston Villa hands with that. But if he plays the formation that I've recommended, I think Arsenal could pull out a draw. I really do. I think this Aston Villa side just hasn't got up to speed yet. They've got a few injuries. Um, Leon Bailey, I think, is just coming back from an injury from what I just read before doing this video. So he might make the bench and, he might have maybe 10, 20 minutes to kind of play, but he's not going to be up to speed. Then I think Bertrand Traore is still also around as well. Let me quickly check that. Bertrand Traore. If he is still around, then I think, yeah, Bertrand Traore is still around. and unfortunately, he just isn't making the bench. Isn't making the bench. And yeah, and I've also actually just read something here that it says AFCON will leave Aston Villa and Dean Smith with a simple transfer decision to make, according because Bertrand Traore just isn't getting the amount of games that he needs. Maybe Arsenal should go on him after him on loan, give him some games there, but who really knows? So I'm gonna go with a 2-1 loss in this game. I think that Danny Ings is gonna be too much for for Arsenal. And I don't think that Arteta will learn from his failures of the past. But I'm hoping that Arteta can prove me wrong. I need Arteta to prove me wrong, because if he doesn't, then this is going to be a really hard season for a lot of us Arsenal fans. And I know that a lot of Arsenal fans already have kind of switched off, and they just don't really care too much. So let's see what happens. Please do hope I'm wrong, but leave your thoughts below on what you think about how the game's going to be. Interesting to hear what you guys have to say. Um, yeah, yeah. But hopefully, guys, we managed to get something out of the game. But if not, maybe this is one step closer to us getting to what we all want. And maybe moving a direction away from Mikel Arteta to someone else, hopefully. But leave your comments below. Do remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all on my next video, which will be sometime tomorrow after the game, to either say I was right or yes, I was wrong. But never know. Never know. Nevertheless, see you guys tomorrow.